Good afternoon and welcome back to the Predator Pro Billiards series. This time we are live all the way from Hotel Alpina Oppendorf in Austria. This is the Carrinho Women's Open and our next match for today is between Kristina from Slovakia. She'll be taking on one of the world's best, Shasha Liu. We're playing 10 ball, best out of 3 sets, races to 4. And in the commentary box we have Gethin Davies and myself, Tim de Ruiter. Welcome back, Geth.
Yeah, thank you, Tim, and welcome back, viewers. This should be a very interesting game. I think on paper we would have Shasha Liu as favourite. She certainly had more table time with her efforts in the mixed doubles as well. But the Slovakian lady is no slouch around the table. I didn't catch Sorry.
A lot of people are familiar with Kiki or Kristina, as she also has been residing for quite some time in Germany. So she's played a lot of tournaments in Germany. She's won quite some events in Germany. So yeah, most of the people might not even know that she is originally Slovakian.
She's won the lag and will get us kicked off in our opening set. Yeah, appeared to be focused on getting the good contact. Didn't have as much power as maybe we've seen from others in this women's event. And that's not only fallen dry, but has given a good look on the one here as an opener for Shasha.
Yeah, this is a second round match on the one loss side. Shasha Liu losing to Zhang Muyan 2-1 in sets in the first winners round. Kristina beat Silvia Lopez Fibla 2-1, then lost to Pia Filler 2-1 in sets. Beat Cindy Keller 2-0, and now against Shasha Liu in the second one loss side round. Well, she's lost the cue ball completely there. Oh, early airborne coming.
Yeah, they've had a little bit of time to get used to the table. Maybe not as long as they would have hoped to. Just a quick 20-minute turnaround from our last match here on this table. Wasn't far away from making that, but look at the cue ball, Tim.
Yeah, very early mistake from Shasha. Gives Kiki a chance at least on her first break, because after it being dry she was put back into the chair. Now with ball in hand, probably to get from the 4 to the 5 could be the tricky part. Ideally be straight on the 5. Ooh, she's already ran quite short. No feel for the table speed on her opening shot.
No, we'll need to pay a little bit more attention here. Especially wanting to get shape on this 5. How did she hit that, Tim? Oh.
I have to say she hit the perfect pace on that though. If you look at the 4 ball just dropping And the cue ball just going by the 8. Nice angle on the 5 to stun off the rail. She does in general have a bit of a quick jabby stroke. That's how I've always remembered her to play. But very accurately, it's just a little bit of a different style maybe. It's a bit quickish, but as you could see, nice confident stroke on the 6. Now, of course, in this match, Shasha Liu, based on Fargo rating and such, would be the favorite. But if you draw Shasha and she already lost earlier on in the event, you would have to tell yourself, hey, listen, I have a chance. If I can apply some early pressure.
Yeah, I completely agree. There's obviously the travel involved to get here deep in the Austrian Alps. A favourite of the players here at the Alpina Alpendorf. But she's also been playing some doubles, Shasha. I got to commentate on a great match that went all the way. She's teamed up with Say. So you never know, maybe a little bit of exhaustion or just getting to grips, acclimatizing. But this will be the start that Kristina will have hoped for. Has a very good look now at taking this opening set, rack. She doesn't rush into her shots at all, Tim. Very methodical, good pre-shot routine. I'm not too sure with the time that she takes if the shot clock will come into play at all, but it serves her very well so far. And 1-0 to the Slovakian. And Kristina will return to the table with the break. We do have 2 other matches being streamed for you right now. The women's event on table 2 has been moved. We will continue with the men's match that is in the 3rd set over there. And on table 3, a matchup between the French lady Marion Jude and someone who our viewers may have got to see yesterday in action, Yuki Hiraguchi from Japan. Another exciting player. You can see in the background there the men's match still underway. Them gentlemen playing for a place into the money, the last 32. Kristina with her second break of this match. Wasn't successful with her first one, Tim. Felt maybe a little bit more power would have helped.
Yeah, we have seen it in the previous match with Felix, who on his opening break did go very soft. Might be a strategy, might be trying to feel if that base gives her better results. This time she hit him nice and square.
Don't think Shasha's got much to look at. She has visibility of the 1. Looks like it will need to be safety play. It'll be interesting to see how these 2 ladies battle it out in the safety department. That is nicely done. When that cue ball gets close to an object ball, it just cuts out so many options for your opponent. And Kristina, Kiki, well, what options do you think she has there, Tim? Is she picking out a one rail?
Yeah. Yeah, that was probably the only option she really had. Decent hit. And Shasha calling the bank. Yeah, she has to go here with the 2 ball over the corner. This layout too, nicely spread. A lot of open space in the center of the table. Yeah, but she kind of looked like she put a little bit more effort in placing the cue ball on the 2. I would just have said, hey, make the bank and route. Yeah, did come on top of the 3 and looks quite straight. We'll have to dig in the cue ball quite a bit to even be able to get on the 3 ball in the middle.
Yeah, this just notched up a few levels on the difficulty scale for Kiki here. Oh, she's gone for it full-blooded. Hasn't been as fortunate as she could have been. The 7 taking a lot of energy out of the cue ball and the spin not helping either. But this is on to the bottom right corner if she feels she wants to just keep the foot on the offense. This is a big shot to take on, but would be very fruitful if made. Looks like there's every chance of getting position on the 4 following it. Boom.
Oh, she's coming up with some clutch shots there. Honestly, when she put herself on top of the 3 ball, I told myself, well, we might see some safety play coming up soon, but so far so good. Needs another precise position on this. And again,
yeah, she has that cue ball on a string, Tim. Moving it around nicely and efficiently, you have to say. And good position on this 7 to get shape on the 8. And this could be a second point on the board in quick fashion.
oh, a bit longer on the 7. I kind of feel like she'll have to go 3 rails around the 8. Not too much top spin, more not too much right spin, more of a top spin on this. Yeah, nicely done.
As you mentioned, she really looked like she put herself in a pickle at the beginning of this closing pattern, but it's been textbook since. You have to say, Tim, fully deserved with the offensive strategy to take a 2-0 lead in this opening set.
Well, what a start for Grim in this opening set, Kath. I mean, there's not much you can say.
No, and you can't really say too much about Shasha either. It's been all Kiki. She's done exactly what she set out to do, but more importantly and reassuringly, it's really textbook. She's playing all the right shots at the right pace, staying down on the ball, doesn't seem to be daunted by the occasion. Very impressed so far. Statistics, I'm sure, will reflect that. As they do come up.
On the other on the side note, though, Shasha did have a straight-in bank on the one ball in the second rack, which she missed. So missed one shot and one foul in the opening rack. It's enough to be down 2-0. Great start for the Slovakian.
Yeah, exactly. Great start. And the only really thing you could pick apart on Kiki would be the break. It hasn't had a negative effect so far, but imagine if she starts making balls and getting shape on the next ball, Shasha might end up static in her chair.
Well, again, it seems like it's becoming a trend, the dry breaks. Maybe she's just punching the break a bit much instead of like long stroking. I just guessing what could make a difference, but it remains a mystery. This table and the break remains a mystery so far.
Well, in fairness to Kiki, that one ball was tracking from the replay towards the right side pocket. However, it took a nudge from the three. Shasha's gone for this one and has not missed it by far. Just catching the near side knuckle. Knew she was getting shape on the two, felt it was worth taking on. Now, Grim needs to get that cue ball back out of that corner. She has done, but it's overrun, even with the contact on the 8, Tim.
Yeah, you will have to go off the 8 and find a window between the 6 and the 9.
Yes.
I think she might have been opting to play a safe.
Yeah, that definitely was. She wasn't expecting the collision on the 8 because that cue ball would have come round towards that traffic. What she has left now for Shasha is a window onto this 2. She went for it again, I think as a bit of a 50-50, hoping that she would cover it and leave herself shape on the red 3. Quite a clever shot, and has got away with it. Some people say playing it on the professional side of the pocket, I think is a term I've heard used, where they aim for a side of the pocket just in case they do overcut it. They get a better chance of running safe.
Yeah, missing on the pro side indeed. This actually being a very close, was a very good try from Kristina. Almost got the cue ball under the 4-6-10. Now this positional shot to get on the 4, this is a tough one. If she lands the cue ball one rail just in front of the side, the right middle, is she already on it? Does she have to cross over? I think she might be on it. It's close.
Did look good for pace. She's back up out of the lookie to suggest that it is. And can she find a way just to get that green a non-problem? She can. There was a bit of an angle. Possibly her first real opportunity, unless you want to consider the missed bank on the 1. And this to me now, Tim, is the key shot. 6-7. Should not present her with a problem. Has done most of the hard work already. So
Yeah,
far
slightly
also,
short.
yeah, I was going to say, so far also matching Grim in open play, but this one was not where she was dressing the cue on the table. A little bit more to do.
Oh, she didn't even leave herself onto the top right. She even drew the cue ball back for the left middle. So perfect on the 9. Looks like Shasha will take her opening rack too. Her account will be opened. It's a good reply. Should show Kristina that she is feeling capable enough today.
I have to say, Tim, she was playing with a bundle of confidence in the mixed doubles open. Very jovial and seemed to be having a good time out there. I'm just wondering if that's helping her with her confidence as well, because that was not the easiest of clearances to take on, and more so, she just sat in a chair and watched Kiki really tidy up as nicely, knowing that any small mistake at that point, she may have found her opponent on the hill. This is great stuff. I think we're in for a good match here, Tim.
Oh, that's the only thing we can wish for. A close match.
Well, if you're wondering what these young ladies are playing for, it's a $90,000 prize pot with a 64-player field. First prize picking up $27,000 and $15,750 for second, and it drops down to 9 to 16, taking home $1,970. So There's quite a nice pot of money out there for these ladies to play for. First break for Shasha.
Look at the cue ball. That tracked all the way towards the bottom right corner. She made almost look like she made a wing ball in some way. But no future on the 1 and a messy layout down table with the 2.
Well, there was a small chance we were going to dance into a battle of safeties earlier in the second rack. Maybe we'll get treated to a couple here. And that's not a bad one to get us off to, Tim. Good cue ball.
Yeah, and also the control on the 1. It's nicely done. Always a double cover up. It's not close to a rail, so not easy to hit one ball wide in the open.
I thought she'd made it in the side there. Has that run far enough to go safe?
I don't think so. But yet still a problem with the 2 in the 10.
Yeah, maybe Shasha already considering that and looking at where she would like to be to play safe from it. We were just treated in our last match on this table to a young Felix Vogel besting Jason Shaw, employing the 3 foul rule in the last rack. Looks like the combination though here, Tim, and that looks fraught with danger.
Yeah, she doesn't feel like this was the moment to take a risk. Another good safety from Shasha Liu.
Yeah, the 4 and the 9 just hampering options for the 1 rail escape. Maybe possible to come off the top short rail through the 4 and 9. If there is the ability to come underneath the 3 here, that looks preferable. It's not worked out. Good contact though, Tim.
Well, the best advice, or at least the first advice you give someone is, hey, make sure every time you kick at the ball, you make a contact. Doesn't matter what happens, make a contact. Don't give them ball in hand. And this is the reason why. Yes, she kicked at the ball and she left the shot on the 2. But with ball in hand, this run out would have been way easier than starting off with this shot.
Yeah, good point. And because of the fact she needed to get position on the 3, has put so much venom on that cue ball. The 2 refused to drop. And now can she back it up again with a safe? She can. That's quite a nice little shift in momentum. Worked very well for Kiki there. Going for the jump bank escape. And you have to say, Tim, although a great escape from Shasha, this has worked exactly into Kiki's favour. And very well deserved. It's not so difficult a look here either, Tim.
Yeah, if you go forward, you're gonna run into the 6, I think. Piece of the 6. It's tricky to judge how exactly you're going to make contact. Maybe off the 6, maybe it runs into the right long rail. Yeah, probably
No.
the best thing that could have happened from that position.
That 6 was a
the
bit
6 ball
naughty,
now
Tim.
blocked the corner.
I think that only leaves the thin cut, and that cut is not really something to consider. Would have liked the 6 to have come into play there. She's got great cue ball, locking it up on that short rail, but Shasha's looked like she's erring on the side of offense. She may elect to go for this one. You can see from the replay there, looking to get good distance between the balls. She has achieved that. Nothing's got in the way. So now Kiki to the table, looking to see if she can just start to eke out a little bit of advantage from a good safe. You taking the bank on here, Tim?
Well, she did call it. She doesn't have to. She could bring the cue ball above the 6, 2 rails, leaving the 4 on the middle diamond on the bottom. But, you know, she felt like she was always going to get close. She felt like the 5 would always come in between if she had missed it. And she's played pocket speed, so it makes the corner a lot bigger. I mean, great start for Kristina, but yet we can find ourselves level at 2 very soon.
Probably would have liked to have been a bit straighter on this 7, but regardless, I have to agree, Tim. I said this match was really looking like it was going to turn into one of the good ones. And if Shasha continues playing like this, and Kiki went in and amongst the balls, there could be a lot of fire to come. 2-2 will only add a bit more fuel to that. Solid stuff. Real good response to Kiki winning the opening 2 racks. 2-2. This would be, and the break with Shasha. Possibly the only difference being the breaks so far. You said it was all about the brakes, about the brakes.
Well, there's the brakes and the safety battles, the tactical exchanges. That's where things get very important. As long as you don't make a ball on the break and you're not getting shape, you'll have to play perfect defense to be able to get yourself opportunities. Well, I mean, in that case, it's one or the other. But I feel like with the safety exchange, your opponent has answers too. On the break, well, it's just you and the table.
Yep. Wise words. Wise words indeed. I didn't have a chance to catch the statistics on the breaks, but this a very good opportunity now for Shasha if she can put in a good one and stay at the table. Not sure how that one didn't drop him.
Well, let's have another look. Yeah, not deep enough into the middle. And of course, they're breaking at a certain pace, so it's not like pocketing a ball through the inside of the side pocket knuckle. It comes crushing into it. Can't stay up.
As you just saw from the pop-up there, our good colleague in the stat office, Michael Salmon. Shasha at 50%, so 1 from 2. So a very small but possibly significant difference that may come in a little bit more heavier as this match continues, but I think she called the 1 here. Oh, and ran into the 7 riding a luck Tim. I think I like this offensive Shasha today.
Well, this is, I would say, very difficult to run out, because I was thinking the 4 might have clustered up with the 9. She might have different thoughts. I mean, it might go suddenly.
Well, I'm not sure about these two's head-to-head matchup. I haven't got too much with regards to that in my notes, but I'm wondering if that early onslaught from Kiki has just put Shasha into a gear where she feels like she needs to get in there first and really grab it by the scruff of the neck. However, in saying that, I was just wondering if she's fallen short on position here for the 4.
Well, it's a carom on the 9. She's now straight in on the 4. This is some good stuff.
Oh. Yeah, and if you can recognize that your opponent is really looking solid and running out in quite authoritative style, this is the way to respond. And she's delicately played that 4 in to hold for the 5 in the side pocket. That's a little bit straighter than desired, Tim.
Well, I do still think She has a little angle to go low right spin. Running towards the 7 at least. No, just to put her off the rail. I'm surprised. I kind of liked the low right coming in over the other side of the 10 and the 8. Because you need the angle anyways on the 7 to cross over for the 8. This is a difficult shot to move over.
Well, she's given us a really good indication of her attitude coming into this match. Can she back it up?
Yeah, body movement right there. You could see the second she punched the ball, she put her body into it. Look at her head. Actually, on the above, you cannot see it as much, but I did see it on the original. Just trying to put that little bit more into it. Becomes a bit snatchy, a little bit body into it. Just not as pure as she would have played the other shots. Now this is no cookie either. That's straight. Is she going forward?
She's going to eke an angle, Tim. She is going to eke an angle and bring it round 2, maybe catch her third rail. What a big shot, but what a moment to do it. Just to snuff out that flame from Shasha. Position on the 8 would be fantastic. Fantastic indeed. She's not really had much at the table for the last few racks, Tim. That's a big shot to come up with.
Yeah, that was a little bit longer of an 8. There is also some pressure on that too. She knows a major opportunity to get on the hill first in the opening set here. Kristina Grimm.
Oh yes, and does get to the hill first. So important psychologically, and also getting her one step away from taking this opening set against Shasha Liu. Kristina Kiki Grimm. Just have a quick look around at the other tables. We have Jolien Schröman has taken the opening set against Romina Lenk from Germany. Xinyu Hong, well, she's 3-1 up in their opening set against Chantal Stadler. And Bojana Sarac is 3-2 in the opening set against Linnea Halmarstrom. They seem to be having a good battle. I'll bring you some more updates as they come in, as we just reflect on the statistics so far. Shasha probably looking to get the better of them, but I have to say, statistics aside, Tim, watching both of them in open play, it's hard to pick anything between them.
Yeah, you would say with 50% break success and 80% first shot after the break, you would say you have an advantage. But she did miss out in the opening rack, and then pretty decent cross-side bank on the second. And she's missed the 7 ball in the last rack, so that's already 3 opportunities where she has missed out. And now it's Kristina to possibly close out the opening set.
Yeah, that slower control break just not working for her yet. This one is onto the side pocket, Tim, and natural to catch shape for the two. Good spread of the balls as well.
Yeah, but these are being missed at times too. She will have to play. And she did play it very soft, but some players, they punch the ball a bit more on those. And that's where the side pocket doesn't accept the one ball as much. Well, from this angle, I'm doubting it a little bit if the 6 goes by the 7. So straight in on the 3 would be nice on the 4, etc. But what's the plan with the 6? If it goes by the 7, it's no problem at all. But if it doesn't, shape from 5 to the 6 could be tricky.
Okay, I'm not sure that came back as far as she wanted with that draw. Still, the cue ball may be now forced to run into the 9. I like that. I like that indeed. Options to get on the 6 here if it doesn't pass the 7.
Yeah, she might as well play to the short side of the 6 with the angle she has.
Well, she was able to respond to Kiki's opening 2 racks, bringing it back to 2 apiece. She just let Kiki in with a very difficult opportunity to steal the rack, which she took. And now Shasha looking to respond and bring us through to a hill decider. And you have to say, this is what we were hoping for, and I do believe this is what the match deserves. They are both looking formidable, Tim. I don't even think I could pick the deciding rack if it goes that far.
Well, normally you would pick the player with the break. But it's not like the break has been so amazing for both sides either. Well, for Shasha a bit better than for Kristina, so maybe you could pick Shasha just because of her break being a bit better this match.
Yeah, that's
But
fair.
we are now hill in the opening set.
It's going to go all the way in the opener. Could be a shape of things to come for this match. Back over in the arena, Anna Gradiznik has taken the opening set against Venus Lim. And over on our table 3 between Marian Jude and Yuki Hiraguchi, they're locked at 2 apiece in their opening set. So that looks like it's as thrilling as this one. Nakyun Song has taken the opening set against Sandra Baumgartner. And Ina Kaplan has taken her opening set against the American Kennedy Mayman. So match is really hotting up, and in this losers bracket they still have the losers qualification to go, Tim. So they're going to need some energy for today. Shasha Liu to break in this deciding opening set.
Yeah, again, such a cut on the break. It's an open chance for Kristina. I think the one ball does go. Tricky layout though, with the 10 over the corner.
Yeah, good bit of traffic down at the bottom of the table. Maybe to be rewarded to play safe from the 2. That is if this one is on. I think you're right, Tim, it is. And is that what Kiki's just considering there now? I do feel there are good options from that 2 ball. Maybe bringing it up towards that 6 ball and using the 4, 5, 7 as cover.
Well, the 6 ball does make the corner a lot bigger. Still have to be careful for the scratch in the middle. Oh, she's missed that by quite a bit. Where does the 2 ball land? Oh, she's gonna catch a roll. Or has she? Did she leave a combination on Gath?
Possibly, but I think in making it, that 4 is going to run into trouble as we look at Alex Kazakis from Greece in the arena. Watching on, I just feel that 2 may run into a safe position, and the white with the contact on the 4 meant nothing was going to come from it. However, she's still at the table, Tim. There are options. She may choose to use the 4 to freeze the 2 on and just get good cue ball. Becomes a little bit trickier using the Predator extension.
Well, she could play this with a lot of left spin, which throws the 2 ball more towards the corner. Running the cue ball at least towards the 3. I don't mind it. It looks like she's playing the 2 into the 4. Safety. Yeah, the only problem is she really had to target at least the cue ball to the right side of the 3 ball. She didn't look too deep into this shot, and now should be a decent return for Liu.
Okay, has the cover, but has a big distance between the 5 and cue ball if Kiki wanted to entertain jumping for this. Doesn't look like she's going to.
Well, I don't think I would mind the jump, because if you kick at it from this way, the 2 and the cue ball most likely are going to stay in the open if you make a hit. So looks like she just kicked at this to try and slice it in. She got close, But ball in hand now for Shasha to take this set. Probably just the position on the 5 will be difficult. Let's see if she can overcome the challenge. I don't think the 5 goes to the top or to the bottom right. So she'll have to crawl in between the 5 and the 7.
Well, it just goes to show how close this match already has been. Not only the scoreline reflecting it, but it being down to not the break that we may have originally considered, but just the execution of the safety plays from both players has been so good. Sadly, there's had to be 1 or 2 mistakes between them. And what a time for Shasha to get ball in hand. You'd have to say either player with ball in hand at that position you would have considered running out, so it's Shasha's opportunity to do so.
Yeah, she has really stepped up her game from being down 2-0. Yes, she already could have been on the hill earlier. She did miss the 7 ball to get 3-2 up. But now she can fade a bit of traveling with the cue ball back and forth. Well, she's left herself a good angle on the 7 and nearby. So indeed get straight, or at least a small angle going to the right on the 8. Makes things a lot easier to be back on the 9. Well, and how is this for an angle, Gethin?
Yeah, very well judged draw with the cue ball. And Kiki sat in her chair, really hasn't done much wrong. Neither player has. Scoreline reflecting it. But this was the chance which either player was looking for. It was Shasha's opportunity. And she's taken it with both hands, Tim, and will be mightily relieved from the start that Kiki had to be in this position to take the opening set. Ooh. A shake of the hand from Shasha there.
Oh, she did land to where she needed to get the extension on the cue. So a bit more distance. Should still be okay. This for the opening set. Pretty long opening set too. Almost an hour. Yeah, nice and clean. Shasha Liu from China taking the opening set for the 3, and as you can see the glove is coming off. She will be taking a break. I think both players will be taking a break, so why don't we take a break? Let's get some refreshments, make sure we are fresh and sharp for the second set. Captain Davis, myself, Tim de Ruiter will be back very, very soon. We are back live all the way from the Alpina Alpendorf Hotel in Austria. Beautiful, beautiful venue. And also the weather outside has been great. This is a losers round 2 match in the Carrinho Women's Open between Kristina Grimm from Slovakia and Shasha Liu from China. A very interesting opening set we've seen. Shasha Liu to break the balls first. In the second, Ketten Davis, myself, Tim de Ruiter, in the booth, trying to go over all the shots. Kath, what do you think about this break?
Well, she's given it a good clobber. Dry. And I'm not sure if Kiki can consider coming off the long rail to take on the one. But if not, playing a push is going to be rather difficult, and I would start to consider tying up 2 balls just to make the run out for Shasha that bit more difficult. Have you seen anything else that tickles your fancy, Tim?
I have a lot of mixed feelings about this rack. And also about where she has pushed out to. I don't think there's a real first.
That's what she did, Tim. She did play the long rail first. Played it softly to try and hold that 2 ball, but not really anything promising on here for her. Unless she's going on the full offense, which I'm not sure she will be.
Yeah, that's the reason why Kristina put the 10 ball over the corner, just to make sure the 2 wouldn't go by it if the real first worked out.
Well, this is what we really love to see. Close matches, good safety play, and then really down to what can be gleaned from the result of escapes. That will not work, I'm afraid, Tim, this occasion.
Yeah, and if she can get the shape done to the short side of the 3 ball, what else will be a problem? Maybe the 8 ball, always tricky, that position where it's laying. But she has been looking a lot more solid. And it's also like she's picking up the pace a bit more. She's now playing a bit faster than she was in the beginning of the first set.
Yeah, good observation. She has. And I also observed that Kiki was a bit disappointed with the result from that escape, and it would be just a little worrying if after that hard-fought opening set has just taken a little bit of wind out of her sails. I don't think she has anything to be concerned about really from her own playing perspective. She's looked really solid in and amongst the balls when given the opportunity to. I still feel there still will come chances for her in this second set. Of course, Shasha will be looking to keep her in a chair. One little interesting factoid coming up after this group of matches. We will move into the winners' quali of this women's event. And on table 3, a matchup between Zhang Muyan and Pia Filler, who both respectively, Muyan beat Shasha Liu to put her into this bracket, and Pia Filler put Kristina Grimm into this bracket. So just came up while I was doing my preparations, Tim. She's dealt with these nicely as well. Really looking to push on from that opening set, Tim.
Yeah, she probably took the break and realized, okay, I might be a bit fortunate to still win the opening set, but I have to play a bit stronger. Because it kind of looked like Kristina was starting to get some flair on the table too. Like she really played herself into the match with such a great start. And as an opponent, obviously you're trying to break that rhythm.
Yeah, and both players brimming with that confidence. Really, their offense game is something to behold. But Shasha eking the first rack in the second set. And these ladies playing for a place into losers qualification. They still have another step yet before they get through to the money. Lovely look of Kiki's cue there, keeping herself composed. And it will be Shasha returning to the table for her second break in the second set. She leads 1 rack to 0.
Yeah, now look at this for a change. Well, the 10 on the break obviously doesn't count as a win. She stays at the table. She's got shape on the 1. And a very possible run out. This is looking very good for the Chinese lady. Maybe just a 3-ball needing a bit more work. But if she stays over the left long rail, Geth, I think she'll have the angle on the 2 to cross over for the 3.
Oh, it looked like she was trying to come up the long rail to promote that angle you were talking about, rather than having to come in off the long. And that's not worked out at all.
Yeah, I kind of liked playing inside spin on the 1 and touching the second rail, the left long rail indeed. So apparently I was expecting a bit too much of this run out. We'll be playing safe. I might still go for a jump. The save, as you can see, there's not so much. She's going to cut the 2-ball over the right corner. Maybe a kick and stick. Yeah, I mean, not a big fan of this position. I might as well take a shot at the jump. Play this with the element of save.
Ooh.
But it's on. Now, with the 3-ball being moved a little bit, would you consider a combination? 3-9. A lot of distance in between.
Well, to get position on that 3, even if it does pass into the top right, is going to be fraught with danger. I do like floating it around 2 rails to consider that. Kiki had other ideas, Tim. She might be left with the combination anyway. Ooh, the little bump from the 3. That will stop her in her track somewhat, Tim. There is a nice line of traffic with the 4, 7, 6. Is there something she can aim for here?
No, just a save behind the 10, and also this. Not good enough.
Well, we'll see what Shasha does from this position. But if Kiki is feeling that the game isn't coming to her, or rather is just moving over towards Shasha, putting the Slovakian in trouble would have been the order of the day, and she's not. There are options here, Tim.
Yeah, she did get the hook. Could have done with a little bit of inside spin to get closer to the 6 or the 7. Because now, as you can see, the jump cue is coming out rather fast. At least for contact on the 3, you're like guaranteed to make a contact, maybe even be lucky. It's just going to try and separate the balls, send the 3 ball down table. Well, this is what I mentioned, like, this is not what she tried to do. She ran out of time a little bit, and, well, she did survive another save.
Yeah, got that thick contact on the 10. If that wasn't the case, I feel Kiki would have had a much better look at this shot. Ooh, caught the jaws. Did that work to her advantage or not? I think it may have. Referee's been called in. I think that's Angela as well. Angela Williams.
No.
No, it's not. My apologies.
This one lives on the other side of the world, you know. Now,
It's
I was just going to say, nice cue ball tucked with the 7. Does the 4 come into play? That's the. Of course, you can aim it a little bit more to the right on the long rail and play with left spin. Makes things a lot more sensitive.
Yeah, this really is tricky. And even with making contact, you can see that close to touching. The Arcos 2 balls, brought to you by Predator, with the logo on them, looking fantastic under the lights. Oh, that will help.
Yeah, I had to make sure. Well, indeed, what a shot she's played there. I went on a bit of an adventure because I know the referee's name and I just couldn't really get there. And now I'm gonna try and do it in my best Czech. Eva Poskochilova is the referee for this match. Oh, well, luck and no luck at the same time. Did go for the bank, made the 8, and now it's the option for Shasha to play herself or give it back, because Kristina did not call the 8 ball.
I've got a feeling. Well, I was about to say I've got a feeling she'd give it back, but then she was still at the table. She has given it back, and let us not hide from congratulating you on your pronunciation, Tim. Fantastic. I am sure the Eastern Europeans will be proud of you. This is a tricky one. There is an edge.
Yeah, but... Yeah, I mean, okay. She could choose to play safe off this, but... I kind of like just going... You know, like, there was not so many good results Kristina could have had with this safety. Most of the time going to leave a shot on. Low left. She's going to screw the cue ball back 3 rails. Make the ball and you're on the 5. No screw back 3 rails. But that bump on the 10, I mean, it has worked. Not sure if she intended to play the bump.
It's worked out. It's worked out very nice, Tim. Ooh, look at that bounce on the cue ball. Unintended side, to say the least. And that is now a very tricky predicament Shasha finds herself in. A little short, Tim.
Yeah, but still easy to leak out the 6 ball. Catch this a little bit too thick, or don't catch this ball, and yeah, this is what I meant. So easy to find that the in-between on the sweet spot. Now is she going aggressive on this? It looks like it. This is a tough shot and a big stroke needed.
Not to be. And that 6 looks like it's hung out in the open. But where the 10 is, Kiki's going to need to put a bit of a stroke on this. Ooh, that will stop in time. Now that 10 ball's going to be running, Tim. I wonder how hard she dare run into this. Played it well. And Kristina Grimm gets a very important rack, in my view, in this second set, to just keep Shasha within her grasp. Scoreline now 1 apiece. This is a must-win set for Kiki. And that opening shot on the 3 ball. Could and should have led her into the win earlier, but it wasn't to be. However, she's tidied them up very nicely, Tim, and this is poising up to be a very nice second set here now. Get to see Kristina at the break. So far, not being rewarded.
Well, she is going inwards a little bit with the cue ball. I just feel like she has been hitting the break square, but I feel like she has been breaking a lot on trying to make the 1 into the middle. Oh, and that bridge hand doesn't look too stable like this. More difficult to hit the center of the cue ball. Well, she's made the 1. Cue ball stays on the table. Any shape? Any luck? This is just nasty enough, Gath.
Yeah, that's a bit 50-yard line. The cue ball took a horrible knock. Threatened to scratch. Just trying to consider what Grimm's options are following the 2 if she were to consider an offensive shot, but I think she's eyeing up just bringing the 2 up and down the table towards the 4. I tend to like that, especially if she can take the energy out of the cue ball on the 7. Oh, she's played that a bit soft for my liking, but that's worked out. It looks like it's worked out. Jump stick for Shasha Liu. Tim, it got ever so quiet in the arena for that shot.
Well, she has not been able to jump the ball so great. She made a contact last track, which looked like she was a bit out of balance too. Now another chance for Kristina. Ooh. Ooh. I was just going to say she could put the early pressure on there again, just like she did in the opening set.
Yeah. And it would be very well received from the Kiki camp. Nice natural angle to come up for the 5 into the left side pocket. Would like to finish low on it. I do like it. She's keeping her rhythm. She's not being daunted at all by the challenge ahead of her, Tim. And this is a glimpse of what we saw in her opening 2 racks rather. This is a big shot here to get shape on the 7, bearing in mind the 8 doesn't have the bottom left available, possibly combination, but how she played that.
Yeah, but as you mentioned, the options are limited on the 8. And now a small angle on the 7. Not saying she won't be able to get to the left side of the 8. But of course, the straighter she gets on the 7, the more she'll have to punch some angle out. I think she might be able... Maybe just topspin would be enough.
She did
Can't
play a
tell
shot.
really from this angle.
I'm remembering back, Tim, she played a shot in the opening set where it was just off straight. She generated a lot of power and follow with that cue ball to finish perfect on the 10. A little bounce.
Yeah, so now it has to go forward. And that means she'll have pretty much full length of the table shot on the 9.
Jacking up. Stayed through the ball, has made it. Now is looking for a precise draw from this 9 for 10. And what a great reply from the Slovakian girl here. Real good grit, Tim. Real good grit.
Well, she is coming up with some shots to keep this run going. This 10 to take a lead again, just like she did in the opening set, but will have to be just a bit better this time.
Two 1, Tim. Kristina Grimm takes the lead in this second set. And as astute viewers may have spotted in the background, there are a few empty tables now. A couple of results have come in. Jolien Sherman of the Netherlands has beaten the German Romina Lenk in straight sets. Nakyung Song also in straight sets against Sandra Baumgartner. And Ina Kaplan, I think I've already brought this one in already, has won 2-0 against Kennedy Mayman. Keep an eye on some more results as they're coming in. If you do want to keep an eye on them yourselves, you may find a link on the Pro Billiard TV page, but also please do visit probilliardseries.com for links to this and all forthcoming events, live scores, live statistics, and a little chuckle to herself from Kristina there. Just wondering if that's part of the process, because she certainly should be happy with the way that she's played so far. I think she's giving herself every chance in this match, Tim.
Yeah, Eva trying to rack the balls as good as she can for the players. Now let's see if Kristina's gonna stay with the position where she broke them from last time. Yes, she is.
Looking to be precise.
Well, you would almost say she's found the perfect spot to break from, because suddenly I feel like balls are having a chance. Like the 4 got close, she's made the 7. Okay, well, I mean, even if you break the balls absolutely that perfect, you're never guaranteed to have position. So that's not something you should look at, in my opinion. At least she's making balls on the break now. Time to play safe. Maybe bank the one ball towards the 10. Leave the cue ball towards the top left corner. Kath?
Yeah, I like that. And I also agree with you, Tim. Making balls off the break means you remain at the table and then you get the opportunity to get a player in trouble first. I'm not too sure if she's done that. Is there a window through the 2 and the 5? That would be very unfortunate if so.
Well, it looks like it. Would be crazy if she can find a window and clip the one ball to the bottom short rail. Yeah, crazy. To leave the exact window to be able to play this defense. Now next shot, cue ball behind the 10, a 1 straight over. You have 2 chances if the cue ball goes after the second rail into the 10. You should have the 2 or the 8 coming to the rescue. She only focused on the cue ball. It's not there. Yeah, with a thicker contact, I still think the cue ball could have crawled behind the 10.
Well, Shasha's had a good look at the situation over there with the 3 and the 5. Oh. It looked like bad contact there on the cue ball. It's caused a thick contact. And this now, a great opportunity for Kiki, but still that 3-5 remains there, Tim. I'm just wondering if there was a consideration of playing the 2 off the 3. To try and make something happen with it, but maybe it's available for the top left. I wasn't too sure. She just tried to nibble it a little there because it wasn't far away from making contact with the 5.
Yeah, I was just wondering the same thing. Now she has called it, so it must still go. Might only go to the open side of the corner, so maybe not the sweet spot on the 3 ball.
Could be a rack winner, Tim. Wasn't to be, and I don't think the 8's come to the rescue, so bit of a flip of advantage over to Shasha here. And I just felt that 3 ball could have seen Kiki get to the hill in the second set. Now can Shasha have any say in this?
Well, you said that could have been a rack winner, but also a rack loser. Of course, it's a bit of traveling back and forth, especially from the 6 to the 8.
Well, that will be on her mind now. She comes round to just take a look at exactly what line she wants that cue ball on. But this, a big swing in this second set. I did feel that Kristina, coupled with the ability she's showing at getting to the hill 3-1, would give herself the best opportunity to take this to the third set and really just give her that sense of belief if it wasn't already there. Now, can Shasha just dent that hope a little? Come around the table. That should seal it, Tim, and get the second set all square. The halfway point, 2-2, and will give Shasha Liu the break.
Yeah, we've been at this point before. Shasha, last time this happened, 2 each, missing the 7 ball for Kristina to be on the hill first. Will she make another mistake like that, or does she know how to turn the tie?
Well, she's certainly more than capable, Tim, but it's only been promising from Kristina. She really has kept her composure, doesn't seem to be getting her head down when the ball isn't rolling against, it is rather rolling against her. And she is picking these opportunities up. So she sent the message across to Shasha that you make a mistake, I'll take the rack. So bit of pressure on, clearly on both players. Maybe less pressure on Shasha's break. Let's find out.
Well, I have to say, when my opponent is breaking from a different spot and now suddenly there's balls dropping, why would you not try the same? Bit surprised she kept doing the same thing she was doing.
There's nothing in the rules against copying your opponent. And that 2 ball is rather ugly. The 8 covering the 1 as well. We should see a little exchange of safeties here. Difficult to see how this rack will open up at this point. Certainly wouldn't want to be giving up a foul here, Tim. Looks like the safe option from the 2 could really encourage the 3 foul option.
Well, in this case, can you maybe make the 1, play shape on a safety on the 2 ball, and by doing so develop the rack a little bit more. The other option is to go off the left side of the 1 and bring the cue ball 1 rail under the 10.
Ooh. Tim Delauter has the eyes, ladies and gentlemen. I have to say I like that option.
I mean, both actually could work. Like, you could make the 1 leave the cue ball near the bottom. You might even be able to play the 2 1 rail off the 10 in the corner, like something offensive. But with this scoreline, I would not be too enthusiastic to go aggressive. I mean, it surely doesn't go.
Either that or a very delicate save, Tim. Okay. Escapable. Maybe. Potable if Shasha wants to go up and down the table. Oh no, I've just spotted that 4 ball. That was the danger, Tim. That was always the danger.
Yeah, I cannot believe she just played that Geth. I mean, this is probably the most obvious scratch there was. She could have maybe played to the other side, contact on the 2, or maybe a full contact. But the way she's played, I know she was trying to crawl the cue ball back under the 10 and the 5, but honestly, I'm very surprised she just did that. So, chance for Kristina. Is there a 5-10 combination, and can she get shape on it later on?
I don't know if she was just aiming that she was going to try and develop it. That may suggest the combination isn't on. She has done,
Well,
and that's worked out very favourably.
yeah, if she feels comfortable enough taking on the long 4 ball, that's okay, especially with where the 5 has landed. She only has to stop the cue ball on this. But she really put a big punch in that, and just catching the outside of the corner, rattling, staying right over the corner, and a pure gift this is for Shasha. I mean, she didn't really hit it bad, it's just the pace, Kath.
I was going to say, anything softer than that, you feel that corner pocket would have accepted it gladly. That could be a very important twist in the second set, because it really did look like Kiki had made all the right moves. Will it turn out that she's done the hard work in this rack? Maybe just respotting the 10. Will that hamper what Shasha wants to get on the 6? Should not be, but she's brought it back enough. She just indicated that it's not come across as far as she wanted. Clearly wanted a bit more angle to be able to come round for the 7, so
Yeah, it's going to cross the positional area a little bit. But the pace has been right. As you can see, it's easy to get too short and leave yourself a big cut or run too far and not even have a shot on the 7. But she felt great there. Even if she taps it in, get to the right side of the 8, 2 rails up to the 9. Yeah. Top short rail, left long rail towards the 9 on this. And then we're gonna see Shasha Liu on the double hill. Unless something unexpected happens.
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, following on from this at 3 o'clock, we will have the women's winners qualifications, and the winner of this match will go through to the losers qualification. That's tomorrow morning. I would say a little break for the players, but I do know Shasha will have mixed doubles actions tonight.
Yeah, nothing unexpected happened. And that means Shasha Liu now on the double hill. Kristina needs 2 more racks to stay alive, not just in this match, but also in this tournament. The loser of this match will be out.
Yeah, and that was a tough rattle on the 4 for Kristina there, Tim. As I mentioned, she was really looking good and continuing from, well, what I would have considered as nigh on flawless from her first set performance, even though Shasha was able to dig deep. Is there anything else left that she can do here to threaten taking this to a deciding set? Well, Shasha with the break.
Well, one thing is for sure. This will be her last rack unless, or her last break, unless Kristina wins the set. And the break, well, that remains a mystery for Shasha. Kept doing the same thing. This time more of a square hit, but to make balls, different story.
Yeah, let's see what Kiki's attitude is here, because this one ball is definitely makeable up into that top right pocket. She's had a good look at this. Don't think she's taking it on, Tim. Oh, she is. I think she's got away with the result, though. Yeah, it looked like she was hoping to avoid contact with the 3, making a clean pot, leaving the 2 available to the top left. Wasn't to be, but Shasha's to the table with nothing obvious on. Nice. That's how you lock the cue ball up, Tim.
Yeah, I can assure you, no jump cues on this. She has kicked one of those in before. Unfortunately, at that time, it didn't really give her any result, but this time I think it would give her a result. So watch that top left corner.
No, wasn't to be, and wasn't to be rewarded either with a second prize, because that one ball looks to have a path underneath the 4, Tim. And this is a very good opportunity, you have to say, for Shasha, who finds herself on the hill in the second set.
Well, so far so good. Nice angle on the 3. Can run the cue ball in between the 7 and the 4. Doesn't want a huge angle. Just a little one to go one rail down for the 5. She did get quite straight though, so might have to draw. Well, she looked at stunning the cue ball over, so she must still have a bit of an angle. She had plenty to work with. Yeah, she just has been looking a lot more solid in this second set compared to the first. That might really be the difference for this match too.
Yeah, Kiki really came out the block strong, winning the opening 2 racks in the first set. Really looked like Shasha wasn't really going to get much at all in that opening set, but she did dig deep. Some good exchange of safeties. And as you pointed out, it did look like she picked up her pace a little bit. And so far, so good. Just these 4 remaining balls.
Yeah, I was at some point thinking, okay, maybe to get to the 8 ball, she gets more distance on the 7 or the wrong angle, but like her control on the cue ball has just stepped up a bit, and the shots she has to play at this point not as difficult. Just gotta make sure she leaves herself angle on the 9 to move over for the 10. Anything but straight. Yeah, and that's what she's done. Strong display from Shasha Liu. I feel we're gonna have to say goodbye to Kristina Grim.
Just like that, Tim.
Yeah, we do have another match coming very soon, so make sure to stay tuned at Pro Billiard TV. And down goes the 10. Yeah, our next match will be in approximately an hour. It is Shasha Liu advancing, Kiki Grim going out. Thanks to Gethin Davis, myself being Tim de Ruiter. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you back within an hour. See you soon.